Welcome everyone to VCT Pacific Stage 2. For today's scrum, we have Crazy Guy and Legia. Let's begin by hearing short comments on today's game from both.
I think it was a improvement compared to the first split. And I genuinely think that we should have closed it out 2-0. I don't want to take credit away from Team Secret. Starting with Ascent, I think we didn't play a good T side. Obviously, only winning 2 rounds is not good enough. And after all, we thought like, okay, we were still very confident because our CT side is very good, even though our T side is also normally much better. I think we kept cool and closed out the rounds well on the CT side to win Ascent. And on Sunset, I think there was, I would say, 3 or 4 rounds that we should never have lost. I think that was like a problem of us losing composure, people just playing too aggressive in X rounds or too passive. So yeah, I think there was 3 or 4 rounds we should have closed out, and I think we should have won Sunset. On Split, I think in the end they just played better than us, I would say.
I think like Nico said, I think we could have win 2-0, but like some situation in Sunset, some rounds we threw it a bit. It was 7-3. If we can close all the round, it should have been like 9-3 or something. But instead of 9-3, we got like 7-5. So I think the momentum from opponent just went up, and then they start like hitting the shot.
We'll move on to pre-submitted questions. Coach, first few questions for you. Walk us through what happened after 10-1 on Split. Have you expected such a huge comeback?
On Ascent, you mean?
Yes.
Obviously, it's very hard to expect a comeback in that time, but yeah, we have to always believe the game is over until it's over, and everybody has to fight. We know from our practices that our city side is very strong, or in general our Ascent, and that everything is possible. And also there was a round where Darian said, the moment I will have an operator, we will win this map, I promise you. And I think that also helped us a lot. Him having like a lot of opening frags for us, or them not really being sure how to handle the operator. So they didn't really have like a lot of map control, had to use a lot of utility to gain it. And yeah, I think we just played it cool down, I guess.
Another similar plot on Sunset, but with different teams this time. But what makes it difficult for your team to close the game when leading?
I mean, it's just us being idiots. I have to say it that way, and they know it. I understand in some pressure situations, but sorry, you will not win games if you don't close out the rounds that you are supposed to, or that you can, or are highly favored in those. So yeah, I think it's just us being like just not cool enough to finish out these rounds. I don't know if it's like we lose focus because it's like a hard game, or we played a lot of rounds, but it's a best of 3. We have to be mentally ready for these things. It's also a lot of communication where people have to stop each other or make sure like that we call quick plans, because if nobody's calling anything, then I guess people will just play by their own decision, I would say. But if we would communicate better and make plans, impose plans, I think we would not make these small mistakes.
Another one for you. How would you evaluate this new team mix?
I mean, this is the team that I really wanted to have. I think we have everything in this team. We are very good friends outside of the game, which is like, for me, the most important thing. Everybody's on the same page. We have fun outside of the game, but also inside the game, I think we cover many things that a team should. I have a good in-game leader who does that I expect from him or want from him. I have young players who are hungry to win. Yeah, I think we have everything. We have a good mix in our team. Experience, and some players who will have to learn a little bit more to play on the big stage, like Rattler, for example. He hasn't played in a long time, but I think he's doing a good job. And I think also for us, it's like of course, we want to try the best for this split, and I think that there was a chance. I don't know about now if there is still a chance for us to make it, but I think this split is like gain experience as a team together. Make sure that we learn more each other, and then hit next split again.
Our next question for you, crazy guy. It is your first game at VCT Pacific. Was there any pressure? How do you feel to be back on competitive matches, just in general?
I will say like there is no pressure for me, but I just put on my mind like, because now our chance to make playoff is very low. So before the game, I just put on my mind like we need to do very good so we can take the small chance to qualify to playoff. So yeah, no pressure from the stage, but maybe I pressure myself.
What do you think was lacking in today's match? Is there anything you feel the team will need to improve for the next few matches?
On our end, I think we had a slow start. The opponent was leading like 10-2, but I think we show like we can play. But I think on Sunset, the map we could have won. I think we like, because we made a huge comeback, so I think we like overconfident. Some situation like we shouldn't pick, like some like advantage we should play better, but we didn't play good enough, and then we gave the opponent a chance to get some rounds, and then they made a comeback.
Back to you, coach. What are your thoughts and expectations for remaining of stage 2?
I mean, as I said, I don't know like the realistic chances that we have. I think there is a chance, but things have to go very right for us. But yeah, I think we just have to take it like as an experience. And the problem with VALORANT compared to the games that I have played before is that there is not many official games that you play as a team, and practice is one thing, but I think if you play an actual official game, that's the real practice that you will have. That's where you learn the most. That's why the teams play a completely different Valorant than they do in scrims. So I think we just have to see it as very good practice for us, get the most out of it, learn more each other, and also learn about the opponents. How do opponents adapt in official games, or how do they play in official game? How is the pace and all these things? So yeah, I think it's just mostly gaining experience as a team.
The last pre-submitted question for you, coach. How do you feel that team has improved since stage 1, and also with today's performance? What do you feel about, do you feel there's still doubt or a lot of work to be done and stuff like that?
I mean, obviously there's always work to be done, but if I compare to the first team, first of all, the first team was a dead team. I'll be brutally honest. It was not fun for everyone, I would say, and that doesn't have to do anything with it's like an overall thing. And yeah, it was very hard to find actual joy in the game. But I think with this team right now that we have, and after we had many talks with the players, I think we regained that. So I think that's a huge upgrade for us. And obviously there's always many things that you can improve as a team, but mostly like they have to start knowing each other more. I think we had like only 3 weeks of practice. Maybe Team Secret had the same amount, I don't know. But yeah, I think this team can become very good, I would say.
Thank you. That's all the pre-submitted questions. We will now open up the floor for any live questions. We're going to say there's more questions. Thank you guys for joining the interview. We'll be back shortly with our next scrum. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.